You never really know if your dreams will come true, but if this love story shows us anything, it's that if it's meant to be, the things you want most will find a way into your life in the most unexpected and amazing way. Eliza and Ben Kirby's love story seems straight out of a movie. Meeting at a cafe and falling in love quickly, when Eliza found out she was pregnant, everything seemed to be going perfect. But soon after she gave birth to her beautiful baby, things took an unexpected turn. Can Eliza and Ben deal with the surprises that life threw at them? Watch on to find out. Eliza Kirby's lifelong dream. Eliza Kirby was born and raised down under in Sydney, Australia. She'd always dreamt of having some kiddos of her own one day, and the older she got, the more and more excited at the idea she became. And even though she always imagined she'd have a big family, she had no idea that it would happen the way that it did. But long before she achieved her lifelong dream of becoming a loving mother, Eliza was hard at work trying to build a perfect life for herself. Working at a cafe. In the early '80s, Eliza didn't know what she wanted to do in life, but just like other teens, she enrolled in college. From 2002, she attended the independent school of Brigadine College, St. Ives. But once 2007 came around, she felt like it was time for a change. Once she reached her mid-20s, she found herself working at a local cafe, grinding the days away with her work friends. Little did she know that this cafe would unknowingly turn out to be one of the most important and life-changing places of her life. Boy meets girl. Rushing around the busy cafe where I worked, I noticed our regular Ben the second he walked in, Eliza Kirby told That's Life magazine. Before she knew it, the two would fall in love as if they were straight out of a rom-com, boy meets girl. Girl works at cafe, boy walks into cafe to order coffee. Boy continues to come in to order coffee, boy and girl slowly fall for each other in secrecy. Or at least they thought it was a secret, those electric blue eyes. Although I kept my crush to myself at first, my workmates soon caught on. Here comes your husband, they joked, Eliza revealed. But in all honesty, this definitely seemed like more than just a crush. It literally was love at first sight, and any time that Eliza got to make eye contact with his beautiful blue eyes, her heart would melt. And you know what they say, right? Eyes are the windows to the soul. Taking his orders, I found myself lost in his electric blue eyes, she further revealed. But Eliza was in a place of business, so how would she be able to cross over a professional relationship to a romantic one? A chance to change the dynamic. It turns out that Eliza and her favorite regular Ben started to become more and more friendly as time went on. The more that they got to know each other, the more they started to trust each other, meaning that this could eventually lead to something beyond the four walls of the busy coffee shop. And pretty soon, the young puppy-love barista would get a unique opportunity that would change the whole dynamic between the two of them, and a chance to take things to the next level. A wintertime deal. It was clear to everyone at work that Eliza was head over heels for this man with beautiful blue eyes. But the two had never really spent more than 10 to 15 minutes talking with each other since they only interacted when she was at her place of work. But once wintertime came around, Ben would give Eliza a surprising offer that she just couldn't refuse. One that would give her a chance to show Ben just how much she cared and how much he could truly trust her. The most personal and intimate space. In December 2014, Ben asked if I'd like to house sit at his place while he went away, Eliza shared. Ooh la la, asking someone to house sit for you is quite a big deal. You can't just ask anybody after all. And this wasn't just Ben's house, this was his home. It's just basically the most personal and intimate space anybody really has, right? Eliza wasn't sure how she felt about him, but was more than happy to do this favor while he was out of town during the holiday season. A thank you gift. Before the house-sitting offer came about, Eliza didn't really know what to think about Ben or how he felt, but once he returned home, everything seemed to change. When he returned after 2 weeks with a bracelet for me, I realized he was into me too, Eliza shared. Not only did he gift her a bracelet, but he also invited her to stay for dinner that night as well, giving them a chance to actually talk and get to know each other on a more personal and intimate level. How exciting! From coffee shop crush to hot date. Can you imagine how Eliza must have felt? Not only did her little coffee shop crush buy her some beautiful jewelry as a thank you gift, but he also invited her for a hot dinner date. Talk about a love rush. And if Ben's feelings about Eliza were unclear before, by the end of the night they were about to be crystal clear. As we shared dinner together that night, it was the first time we'd spoken for more than 15 minutes. Then we shared our first kiss, Eliza revealed. How romantic. The first month. Just like in the movies, after their special dinner in December, the two were absolutely inseparable. They were in the early stages of their honeymoon phase and were enjoying every second of it. Within weeks, they fell in love and were already talking about their future together. After all, Eliza's ultimate dream was to become a loving mother to a pack of cute kiddos. It's quite common to get frightened by taking such a big step so fast, though, so how did Ben handle the conversation? Their ideal families. It's absolutely reasonable to want to know if the person you're dating wants to have kids in the future or not. It's known to be one of the biggest deal breakers for many couples, and with good reason. But it turned out that Ben and Eliza were pretty much on the same page when it came to having a family. There was just one difference in the details of their ideal family, but it didn't seem to necessarily be a deal breaker for either of them. Taking things to the next level. It might have taken them a little bit of time to transition from their barista-customer dynamic to dating, but once they crossed over that threshold, everything zoomed like a rocket of love. 12 years my senior, Ben wasn't afraid to talk about the future. After just a month, we openly spoke about starting a family together. While Ben loved the idea of having 2 kids, I always dreamed of having a whole brood, Eliza confessed. Little did they know that their actual family would turn out to be beyond anything they could ever imagine. Relationship tests. Days turned into weeks and weeks turned into months, and as good as things were going for the puppy love couple, by the time 3 months had passed, their relationship would be met with another test. We all know that having conversations about commitment and big life plans is one step to take in a relationship, and the 2 lovebirds flew through it with flying colors. But another big test to a relationship that's usually overlooked is handling and taking care of your partner should they get sick. Being vulnerable and weak for the first time. Whether it's food poisoning from date night or the harsh winter flu, being sick is never fun, and unfortunately sometimes, being sick can add even more stress to a new and blossoming relationship. Especially since it might be the first time you're put in a position of being so vulnerable and weak in front of the person you want to impress and like so much. And vice versa, it can add extra pressure onto the caretaker to make sure they do the right job of taking care of their new flame. And 3 months into their new fiery and passionate relationship, Eliza had fallen ill, leaving them with a brand new challenge. It's like I'm hungover. Eliza had been feeling drunk in love for quite some time, but after 3 months of dating, she started to feel pretty sick quickly. I felt really long down. It's like I'm hungover, I thought, but I hadn't been drinking, Eliza remarked. What could it be then? What would cause her to feel so nauseous and weak without anything to instigate it? She wasn't really sure what was going on with her, but then it suddenly hit her. I decided to take a pregnancy test, Eliza disclosed. Are they ready? There's no doubt that a million questions and emotions ran through Eliza's mind. What would she do if she was pregnant? Would she tell Ben? Were they ready for something like this? Was she ready for something like this? They'd already talked about how they both want to have a family with a couple of cute little Elizas and Bens running around. But talking the talk can sometimes be way different than walking the walk. Either way, she knew that she couldn't get too carried away without knowing the results first. Getting the test results. Those few minutes waiting to see the results of a pregnancy test can sometimes feel like a lifetime. But the results were in, and it was time to find out if Eliza was actually stuck with something or blessed with a miracle of life. When it came back positive, I was so excited, Eliza emotionally expressed. She was in her mid-20s, she was pregnant with a child of a man she loved, and she dreamt about being a mother her whole life. This was great news for the new mother-to-be, but what about Ben? Breaking the news to Ben. It's safe to say that no matter how close you feel with someone and no matter how long you've known them, revealing big news like this can be a bit nerve-wracking. But Eliza was so excited and felt so confident about it all that she couldn't wait to tell Ben. Sharing the news with Ben, he wrapped me in his arms. Our family was starting sooner than we'd planned, but we were over the moon, Eliza eagerly explained. But this was just the beginning of the big surprises that would be sprung on the puppy love couple. The next 9 months. This was in no way even close to how they'd imagined starting a family together, but that's what made it that much more special. The happy couple spent the next 9 months prepping for a brand new lifestyle and home together. From baby clothes shopping to booking all the necessary appointments and checkups, the dynamic duo couldn't have been happier about how everything worked out. With each day that passed, they fell even harder for each other and got even more excited about their adorable little bun in the oven. Welcome baby Charlie. The big day arrived and Eliza's water broke. The happy couple rushed to the hospital to welcome their new baby into the world. After a C-section surgery in January 2016, Eliza and Ben welcomed their baby beautiful daughter Charlie to the family. With big pink lips and blonde curly hair, she looked just like my sister Susanna, Eliza emotionally recalled. Within a year, the two went from flirty coffee shop friends to loving parents. They fell in love with their baby faster than each other and couldn't get enough of her. A smooth transition. Fortunately enough, the adjustment from soon-to-be parents to first-time parents seemed to be quite smooth for Ben and Eliza. After the first 2 weeks, our gorgeous girl was sleeping really well, Eliza lightheartedly shared. Talk about lucky. There's no doubt that this proud mama was truly embracing her motherhood. She felt so blessed to have such a sweet girl that she was inspired and felt ready to go back to school. Little did she know that life was getting ready to hit the happy couple with another surprise or two. Mentally ready for anything. Even though they were still in the early stages of dating when they first got pregnant, it's safe to say that the following months truly heightened and strengthened their love. Eliza and Ben felt on top of the world and ready for anything. They wanted the best life for Charlie, and a short 6 weeks after their precious daughter was born, Eliza found herself back at university. But just because Eliza was mentally ready to take on obtaining a degree didn't mean she was physically ready. Feeling sick immediately. Before welcoming their child into the world, every parent worries about what things will be like once they're born. And even though Eliza wanted to be a mother more than anything, she still had some natural concerns. But after the first couple of weeks of parenting, Eliza thought to herself, this isn't so hard after all. Because of that, she felt ready to take on more and started classes again. However, Eliza disclosed that almost immediately I felt lethargic again and suffered frequent headaches. Oh no, what did this mean? A little bit of stress. As soon as Eliza started to feel a bit ill, she contacted Ben. What could be wrong with her? She'd been feeling fine for the past month and a half, so what could have triggered her to feel so weak? I'm sure you've just taken on too much too soon, Ben suggested to Eliza. While Ben's rationalization made a lot of sense, Eliza had a feeling deep down that it was something much bigger than a little bit of extra stress. A sign of something else. Stress can be the basis and a big factor for many illnesses, but Eliza had a feeling her lethargic symptoms and headaches were a sign of something else. I think I might be pregnant, I admitted to Ben, Eliza revealed. Ben was set on it being stress, but Eliza felt like the only logical explanation was the fact that she indeed might be pregnant. Regardless of who was right though, there was a very quick way to find out if Eliza was actually sick with something or blessed with a miracle of life again. Taking another test. Eliza had just given birth to her first child a month and a half before she started to feel ill. It's definitely possible to get pregnant right away, but was that the case with Eliza? Just like the year before, she got herself a pregnancy test and awaited the results just like before. No matter how many tests you take, those few minutes waiting to see the results can always be the longest of your life. And even more so since Eliza didn't understand how it could be possible to be pregnant again so soon. The second round of results. The results were in and the pregnancy test displayed 2 pink lines in the result window, meaning she was in fact pregnant. Eliza was just as excited as the first time around and knew that together, her and Ben could conquer anything. With an 8-week-old already at home, it was going to be a challenge, but Charlie was such a dream baby, Eliza further shared. But it was what happened at the very first ultrasound that was even more shocking than the test results. The second round of ultrasounds. As soon as Eliza got the results from the at-home pregnancy test, the couple immediately called the doctor and arranged the appointment for later that day. They arrived to the office and got situated in the examination room for their second round of the first ultrasound. As the wand glided across my belly, the doctor said something that made me laugh out loud. Ben had been happily cradling Charlie in his arms, but now his face was white as a ghost, Eliza shared. What did the doctor reveal? News they've never heard before. All parents just want their babies to come out safe and healthy, which is why it's important to always stay up to date on your doctor's appointments. It seemed like only yesterday a couple was doing their routine checkups for when Eliza was pregnant with Charlie, but what the doctor was about to reveal to them was something neither of them had ever heard before. It's still too early to be sure, but I think there's 2 heartbeats, the obstetrician admitted, Eliza shared. As much as Eliza wanted to have a bunch of little ones running around, even she herself didn't believe the doctor. I'm sure there's a mistake, Eliza said. 1 little bun or double the fun. The obstetrician notified them that upon their arrival next month, they'd know for sure if she'd be expecting 1 little bun in the oven or double the fun. So 1 month later, the couple returned to the office and did another ultrasound. Eliza further revealed there's definitely 2. How on earth are we gonna cope? I panicked. Back at home, I googled 3 babies under 1, hoping some advice, but there was nothing. If the glorious powers of Google weren't of any use, then what would be? The people of the internet. We're now living in an age where the internet is one of the best tools to utilize when it comes to literally anything in your life. But alas, Eliza was having trouble finding any help via Google. So instead, she turned to the innovative people of the internet and decided to be the main source of help. I decided to start my own blog, Twinge Unity, to connect with other people who have given birth to multiples, Eliza excitingly shared. The universe's gift to the happy couple. Eliza had found a way to express all of her excitement and struggles during her pregnancy, while also connecting with other mothers who were going through something similar. Overall, she was in shock about how her family had quickly come together. About a year prior, the couple had the big conversation about having a family together, indicating that even if they weren't ready right then and there, it was definitely something on their minds. With all of that said, it seemed like somehow, some way, the universe had given them exactly what they wanted. 1 year, 2 pregnancies, and 3 babies. 9 months later, in December 2016, the excited couple welcomed not one but 2 identical baby boys into the world. Within 1 year, the couple had gone through 2 pregnancies and now had 3 beautiful babies to call their own. Unbelievable! Before Eliza had given birth, she'd lightheartedly joked with her family and friends, "I feel like I've been pregnant for years." And now that they had Charlie, Jack, and Wolf to take care of, she jokingly mentioned, "It's like we've got triplets." So how are they going to manage this all on their own? The dynamic duo in action. Raising kids is never easy. However, the first year is probably one of the most difficult ones, so as long as they could get through that very first year, they figured everything would be smooth sailing. And with their hands full of 3 babies under the age of 1, the dynamic duo turned out to be an incredible team of parents together. Thankfully, during the pregnancy, Ben was incredibly supportive and took over all the chores, Eliza explained. And after the pregnancy, the 2 were keen on switching between feeding the babies and changing their diapers during the first year. How heartwarming. Raising little duckies. Once they started to walk and talk, they became the best of friends. Now, almost 3 years on, my babies have grown so much and have their own distinct personalities, Eliza eagerly expressed. Eliza and Ben are having the time of their lives parenting together and enjoy every second of getting to know their cute little babies. And there's no doubt that Charlie, Jack, and Wolf love their amazing parents right back. Following my footsteps wherever I go, they make me feel like a mother duck, Eliza further explained. How cute! Almost all of her dreams were complete, but there was still one last thing the couple had in mind. Letting love find a way. Eliza and Ben had quite a full house filled with adorable little cuties running around. And even though they were killing it at the parenting game, Eliza and Ben still wanted to do one more thing to bring the family even closer together. The heartwarming and inspiring couple decided they were ready to tie the knot, and were thrilled that their cute little duckies would be able to witness it. When Ben and I married in November last year, it was so special to have our kids as part of our big day, Eliza emotionally expressed. And with that said, you may never know how your dreams will come true, but if it's meant to be, life will help you find it in the most unexpected and amazing way. What's the trio like together? So now that the 5 of them were all one big happy family, what were the duckies all doing together like now? The first year was the hardest, but once they started to walk and talk, they became the best of friends, Eliza revealed. She further explained that the eldest is quite the chatty Kathy, or should we say chatty Charlie. Little Jack's super affectionate and clumsy little mummy's boy, and Wolf is known to be the cheeky troublemaker. The relationship between a girl and her dada. Eliza feels so happy and blessed for the way everything worked out and her wonderful and adorable little duckies. But of course, it all started with the love of her life, Ben, and needless to say, she's more in love with him than ever. Last year, she posted a beautiful picture of Ben and Charlie on her Instagram with a caption, "So important is the relationship between a girl and her dada. Whether he realizes it or not, he's teaching her how to love and be loved, fear, fondness, trust or distrust in men. The relationship that develops will be played and replayed throughout her life. How lucky you are, my girl. How sweet. It takes a village." What's that famous old saying? It takes a village? As great of a dynamic duo and dream team that these 2 are together, it's safe to say that Ben and Eliza are all in hands-on-deck situation with their 3 toddlers, and probably still will be for the next decade or so. So there's no doubt that they've been more than appreciative to have Granny and Gramps helping out where they can. And earlier this summer, Charlie, Jack, and Wolf all got to spend some quality time with their grandparents, and Eliza posted this adorable picture with a caption, "How cool cat are these grandparents? How adorable." Big Mama VW van. In a matter of months, 2 became 3 and 3 became 5, which meant that they were gonna need to make some upgrades and changes to their lives. Each baby needs their own set of equipment like high chairs, cots, baby carriers, etc. But one of the biggest buys that the family made together to accommodate their big and loving family of 5 was a brand new car. Not just any car though. I used to drive a Swift, but 3 baby capsules won't fit across most of the biggest 5-seater cars, so off we went car shopping and now I drive a van. A Big Mama Volkswagen van, Eliza shared with news.com.au. Because I love my body. Parenting is definitely rewarding, but it isn't always such a peach. During the first few months, Eliza struggled to maintain a balanced and nutritious diet. Mostly surviving on quick meals like toast and Vegemite and pasta, she realized that she needed to take care of herself just as much as she did her family. With that said though, she posted an empowering picture and caption on her Instagram. "Because I'm proud of what my body's done for me. Because famous women post, 'Look at my body just 3 weeks postpartum,' and portray unrealistic images of what it means to be a mother. Because I feel beautiful in my own skin, even there is a lot of it, because I can. Because you should also be proud. This is me because I love my body." Spreading the love. Eliza and Ben's story went absolutely viral and has touched so many people's hearts. Along with their heartwarming story, the fact that Eliza has shared her own personal experience and tips via her personal blog, interviews with magazines and websites, and even podcasts has helped out so many other parents out there. From what baby products to buy to how to handle multiple babies at once, to just venting out about the struggles and frustrations about parenthood, Eliza felt that sharing her knowledge felt like one of her life's callings.